Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Walt here from Down the Block Sports, and today I want to talk about Major League Baseball. There was just a trade between the Colorado Rockies and Toronto Blue Jays. What I want to talk about is who was involved in the trade and how this helped both teams in 2022. Again, I'm Alec Walt. This is Down the Block Sports. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Yes, the Rockies and the Blue Jays just made a trade. According to multiple reports, the Blue Jays are trading outfielder Randal Grichuk and cash to the Rockies for Raimel Tapia and infield prospect Adrian Pinto. And when you look at the two main pieces involved in the deal, with Grichuk and Tapia, they are complete opposites. Grichuk is a high strikeout, high home run power bat. Tapia is a high contact, low strikeout, high stolen base potential outfielder. Both teams swap pretty much polar opposites. And when you look at both teams heading into 2022, adding that type of player does make sense for both teams. Toronto is a team that has a ton of power already in their lineup. So adding another contact guy who can make an impact on the bases makes a ton of sense. They are losing some power, but they easily make up with it for who else is in their lineup. And then when you look at the Colorado Rockies, they lost Trevor Story, of course, traded Nolan Arenado a year or so back. They needed to add another power bat in their lineup with the versatility to play as a designated hitter, and they added that with Randal Grichuk. So, yes, I do think both teams accomplished a need in their lineup, but when I look at this deal from both sides, I think the winner of this trade is the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's why. Like I mentioned before, they are taking a step back in the power department, but look at their lineup. They have George Springer, Vlad Jr., Bo Bichette, Matt Chapman, Teoscar Hernandez, and this isn't in order. I'm just naming names. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. They got guys who are going to hit home runs this year. And when you look at their order, they could really use another guy who can make an impact in their lineup as a contact hitter and get on bases and make an impact. Here's one thing about Tapia. I think Tapia is one of the most underrated contact hitters in Major League Baseball. Now, yes, many people can argue the Coors Field effect and how that could have helped him in his career with the Colorado Rockies, but in 3 of the last 4 years with the Colorado Rockies, he's hit 273 or higher. I mean, you're lucky if you get a 250 hitter out of Randal Grichuk. He also last year, he won the batting title in 2020, which, again, it's the shortened season. He hit 321, which is extremely impressive. But one thing I'd like to note here is he had 133 hits in 133 games, which is nice. He had 20 stolen bases last year, which is by far a career high. So I expect his base stealing ability to come with him to the Toronto Blue Jays. And he struck out only 70 times. He's going to strike out maybe once every 2 games on this team. And when you looked at Toronto, they have plenty of power. I mentioned the names before. They're not going to lose very much in the power department. But now they can move, a Teoscar Hernandez to a DH role. Or Lourdes at times can move to a DH role. Tapia is going to be an everyday right or left fielder on this team. He's going to be an immediate, if he gets on base and you have a Vlad or a Bichette or a Springer up at bat, because I do expect him to bat lower in their order, he has the speed to score. He has the speed to drive pitchers crazy on the mound and throw more fastballs to some of these better batters on the Toronto Blue Jays. So they get a better base runner. They get someone who's going to strike out less in this lineup, which does have some guys who could potentially strike out a few times next year. They have someone who's going to drive pitchers crazy when he's on base. And they have someone who's going to make an immediate impact on the bases and massively improve their in the stolen base department for the Toronto Blue Jays in 2022. This Blue Jays team going into next year is absolutely filthy. Filthy. If they can have Springer healthy for a full season, the 2 young infielders, Bichette and Vlad, continue to be star players, add one of the best gloves in the game at third base, have other corner outfielders and DHs, because I expect them to swap around with a Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Teoscar Hernandez, who is an absolute stud that, in my opinion, truly doesn't get talked about enough, and then add another potential high-impact on-base guy who can make an impact on the bases? They added Jose Barrios at the trade deadline. They signed Kevin Gossman. They already have Hyun-Jin Ryu, signed Yusei Kikuchi, have two young pitchers, Alek Manoah and Nate Pearson, who is, if he can stay healthy, will be on the Major League roster next year. Their starting rotation is filthy. Their lineup is filthy. Their defense got a lot better adding a piece like Matt Chapman. The Blue Jays are killing it this offseason. And now they're saving money and adding a high contact, low strikeout, solid base runner, incredibly solid base stealer in Raimel Tapia to sit in the bottom six. To sit in the bottom three of the order. Ross Atkins is brilliant in the front office. He is absolutely killing it. They continue to add the right pieces to improve this team on a what seems like transactional basis. Whether it's last offseason or the trade deadline or before the lockout, now after the lockout, they're continuing to add solid pieces around one of the best young cores in Major League Baseball. You guys see the flag over my head, this one. I don't want to play the Blue Jays 19 times next year, but we have to. And this Blue Jays team looked like they're going to be real contenders for a World Series in 2022. So what do you think of this trade between the Toronto Blue Jays and Colorado Rockies? Feel free to give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more of my exclusive content. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you